What we do here is go back. So, hello again. I know it's been a minute. And there's been a lot going on. If you've seen my community tabs, you're probably decently aware at this point that I've just been sort of away from YouTube for a while. Not for, necessarily burnout reasons, but some sort of related to that. It's just been very busy on my end, and I've had to take a step back from various things, YouTube included. But there's been a lot of background work going on, and I am very excited because I just got some news that I figured it'd be nice to share with you, and hopefully, sort of set some goals for the next year, both for my own life and also just for the channel in general, because they are kind of related, hopefully. So, how do I tell this story properly? Let's see. So I guess the best way to start would be, so mid-October, there was a job posting that I just happened to see while scrolling through Twitter. Now, mind you, most of the time when I see a job posting for, some academic position, it's usually, aimed at looking for grad students or looking for post-grads or PhD students or something like that. Now, I have not finished my bachelor's yet, so you're rarely going to find anything other than, your rare summer internship or something. Well, not rare, but, a summer internship or something like that, which I've applied for, and I've done applications for a lot of them and haven't gotten or done many. But this position did not require you to finish a bachelor's, and that surprised me. And what surprised me even further was that this is a Harvard lab, a Harvard paleobiology research lab. So, obviously I'm not going to pass that up. So I applied, and so the way the Harvard system works, when you're applying for jobs anyway, I've actually applied to Harvard when I was applying for college and got rejected from them, so that was obviously lingering in the back of my head. Like, it wasn't my dream school or anything, but, still lingers. But yeah, so I applied for the job. There's a 5-stage sort of process on their website. So the first step is basically they confirm that you've sent in your application. So I spent about a week putting together or reassembling a resume and actually creating a CV, which I've honestly never done before. So shout outs to the people who helped me do that. If you've ever happened upon this video, thank you very much. And then this was November 2nd, I think they said, we received your application. So that's step 1. So then move on to step 2. Step 2 is someone has reviewed your application and will get back to you within 4 to 8 weeks. Now, mind you, this job position was supposed to start in the description, according to the description anyway, was supposed to start in December, like early December. So like 3 weeks ago, December. Obviously at this point, even this far along in the process, like, it didn't make any sense for someone to be starting in December if it's a year-long research position. It just doesn't seem clean, like, start in January. But whatever. Point being, by the time I had heard back from them saying someone's read your application through, it was already, I think, November 11th, so like early mid-November. So from that point, how it works is you either get a automatic rejection letter, so they don't even bother giving you some personalized thing. They have this on file where they're just like, nah, you weren't good enough, bye. That's one option. And then the other option is they will send you an interview offer, and it'll be a personalized email, scheduling an interview, and then that's step 3. And then step 4, I think, is they make you the actual job offer, and then step 5 is you accept, and they do all the other things. So, just based on prior experience with applications for various internships and other positions in the last year and a half, year or two, the last couple of years actually, since I was in undergrad, basically started my undergrad, wasn't really expecting much, hoping for something, but the furthest I've really gotten, aside from like one position, was really just the interview offer, and then I did the interview, and then I waited around for like 2.5 months before they got back to me eventually, saying, yeah, sorry, try again next time. So yeah, given all that and my previous experience with Harvard, I wasn't expecting to get anything. And given that we are now almost at Christmas time and everyone's going to go on break at the end of this week, and people in office at the Harvard office are not going to be in working until, I think, from the end of this week through, I think, January 1st or 2nd. So this whole process is just being stretched out, and if you've ever applied for a job of any sort, you probably are familiar with, this sort of sitting in limbo sort of thing. So I say all that to say that finally there has been a break and I am no longer in limbo. I got an interview offer this morning, as of about an hour ago, and I recorded a different video actually, where my thoughts were more raw, and I might splice that in with some of this. I don't really know if I'm even going to publish either of these videos. I'm just recording them just for the sake of recording them. Maybe they'll be entertaining to look back on, for you and or me. I don't know. Point being, I got the interview, and it's not going to be till they come back. But yeah, so that's the potential big news. If I get the job, I will be moving to Boston, and living there for about a year, doing paleobiology work in the Stephanie Pierce lab. So the Stephanie Pierce lab, it's run by Dr. Stephanie Pierce. She is a postdoc who I think has been working there for a while now, at least 6 years. There's a video series, I forget the channel name, but I will link it. It will be up there. It should be up there if this video isn't reversed. Where she talks about her work in the lab and the kind of things they do. But basically, her big thing is studying how tetrapods and amniotes specifically. So amniotes are the group that includes basically every land animal with a backbone, basically, is an amniote. Actually, that's not true. Let me back that up, because amphibians are not amniotes. So basically, amniotes are the family created by the reptiles and the mammals and all of their ancestor branches. So she studies the evolution of different sort of locomotion styles, particularly in mammals. So there's a paper, I think, I remember seeing it. It was like 2019, 2020, sometime within the past couple of years during the pandemic period, that was talking about the posture and movement of Dimetrodon in particular. And that was based on work that she and her lab had done, but they do a lot of other things like that. I'll link the website in the description, or maybe throw some screenshots up here in this space here so you can peek at it, the kind of work that they do. They also do stuff on fish, and the fish to amphibian, or what do you call it? The fishapod transition, basically, the tiktaalik level things, and basically, trying to understand how mammals evolved, their specific styles of locomotion and how that differs from what reptiles ended up doing, because they move differently. And if I get this position, I will definitely be making, or at least try to make, some more videos about that and show off the, what life is like as a researcher in a lab. And I'll go a lot more in depth about those sorts of topics, assuming that, these things are not under some sort of embargo, because that's always a possibility. You don't want stuff necessarily leaking, especially in academia. If you've seen some recent headlines about a certain De Palma, well, it's an open secret. I don't know why I'm coughing about it. Robert De Palma stole someone's research, allegedly. And this is and this happens a lot actually, but this is part of why embargoes are kept. So if I can, show some stuff off from the lab, if I get the job, then I will definitely do that and make a video series about that. So that's your extra content announcement for this channel. And that's just, general life update from me. That's part of why. It's not, it's not everything why, and there's a lot of other reasons that don't have anything to do with anything. But part of why I've been away for a while. But in 2023, I will definitely be trying to get a lot of these bigger video projects done. I've got some other ones that I'm working on. I guess, you know what? While I'm here, screw it. Let me give you a quick update on some of the videos I'm working on. Some that I know you've been asking about. Starting with, let's say, the When Dinosaurs Roamed America series. I'm not abandoning that. I'm going to finish it. I mentioned in the comments, because someone asked a couple months ago, when that next video is coming out, about the late Jurassic period section of the show. That one, I have notes for it. I did an initial run of notes when I first watched the show, back in early 2021, I think. Yeah, early 2021 is when I decided I was going to do this video series. And I took notes for the show. The problem with that is that turning those notes into a script is one thing. Turning those notes into a script with all these extra details that keep coming out is a different thing. And I was doing this based on just cursory, things I loosely know about. Because I know I like to think I know a decent amount off the top of my head, but I really don't. The level of in-depthness that is required for me to feel satisfied with making a video like this requires a lot more research. And that's especially true for this video series, particularly the late Jurassic period, because there's various reasons, but one of the main ones is just the Morrison Formation, the Western North America, during the late Jurassic period. That place and time is very dense with fossils, and there's a lot of parsing out of details that needs to happen and is happening, but historically has not happened to the level that Hell Creek, which is where T-Rex and Triceratops are from. The Morrison Formation is not as well studied in that regard, in some regards, as Hell Creek is. Like I said, there's active work going on, but it's just not followed as closely as Hell Creek for various reasons. But there's a lot of work coming out, trying to figure out how exactly different types of animals were interacting with each other, what they actually looked like, getting their postures and all that sort of stuff correct and updated, because there's a bunch of updates for various creatures in those series, or that I would be covering, that have been coming out recently, and even a lot of paleontology channels that I've watched and you probably watch haven't even covered those. And it's not their fault. I'm not blaming them for doing bad research or anything like that. They're just a lot. So I just want to make sure that I cover as much as I can. So this is going to be a very long video, I'm sure. I can guarantee it'll be at least 45 minutes long. And so, I've just been afraid of starting it, quite frankly. But once I have a more set schedule in place, hopefully with this job, if I get it, I'll be able to more regularly produce things and have proper time to work on personal projects like the channel. So that's where that video stands. There's a couple other videos I figure I should mention. Let's see. There's the Dinosauria series review that I would like to get out by the end of this year. We'll see how that goes. Don't yell at me if I don't get it published. But there's a script for it. It shouldn't take too long to make, but that's assuming I don't get interrupted by life again. But I like to do that. There's a Prehistoric Planet review coming, but I'm saving that for a while. It's another one of those videos. I mean, every video I would like to do properly. That's part of why I'm actually retaking this. But it's one of those videos that I feel like I definitely want to do properly. So I'm not trying to rush it. And I also want to make sure, but that I have my thoughts gathered for it and I put them down in a way that satisfies me at least. And I haven't watched anyone's reviews of it, of Prehistoric Planet actually. So I know what the general sort of ideas are about the show. They're kind of obvious, but hopefully I can give you, my own spin on Prehistoric Planet and present it in a unique angle. We'll see how it works out. Like I said, I haven't watched anyone's reviews. The only in-depth sort of analysis I've seen is the threads from Darren Naish, and I've just used it as research. So that'll be coming out down the line. There's a Triassic video that I wanted to get out on Halloween, and that didn't happen. I'm like 75% done with it, like editing and everything, right? And then my computer starts freezing and my movie maker or iMovie app starts crashing. So I had to deal with that, and I ended up losing a bunch of files and stuff got corrupted, including a bunch of the stuff for that video. So I've had to sort of rebuild it. But aside from that, production on that one has been interesting because I won't spoil what the topic is, but there's been a lot of new developments, both in the general science pertaining to the topic, but also my communications with the person behind the idea. So that'll be interesting. I have to rewrite the script and navigate some things a bit more politically, let's put it that way. So that'll be interesting. But that won't be out for a while. So because it coincides. If you haven't noticed, I like releasing videos on themed days and stuff. So this was going to be a themed one, and initially I was going to just put it off till November, but I was like, nah, there's too much going on theme-wise with this for it to not be during that specific time of year. So it won't be till next October you'll get it, but hopefully you'll understand why I delayed it a whole year. And the same goes for a bunch of other videos that I've got sort of on the back burner, either in script form or in the editing process, that fortunately have not been corrupted. Some of them are just themed stuff, and I like releasing them at certain times. And then some new research comes out that pushes something back. I have videos that I've got scripts for that are I've been just going back and re-editing them every time something new comes out about the thing. And I know at some point I need to say, stop it, just publish the damn thing, or work on the dang thing. But you know, there's a perfectionist side of me. You know, even though I still go back and do like corrections in the comments and all that sort of stuff for the videos I do release, you know, I just like to have all the information pertaining to a topic synthesized into one product and just sort of be done with it for a while. So hopefully, based on some big dinosaur theropod news that you probably might be aware of from the past month, I can finally sort of put my worries to rest for a little while, and hopefully get it released next summer. So that's some aspirational stuff for you there. This has been going on for 20 minutes, so I think it's about time I cut this, cut it here. But I'll say in closing, there's 2 more videos I wanted to mention. Without spoiling them completely, there's some stuff I did last summer, or this past summer, that I am working on videos for. I've hinted at them both in the community tab and probably on other platforms if you follow me on like Twitter or something. But those are like big projects, and one of them is the 1,000 subscriber special. So not asking, but you know, wink wink, nudge nudge, if you want to get that one out sooner or see that sooner, I suggest subscribing if you haven't already. But yeah, I also just need time to finish it. But again, if this job comes through and my schedule is rearranged around it such that, you know, I have a solid, consistent chunk of time to work on things, then that will be, you know, those will be done sooner too. So yeah, if you want to watch that, you know, keep an eye out for that. The other summer thing will probably be a whole series on a different channel. Again, something I've alluded to before in the community posts. I've actually been more open about that one. I went to Maine over the summer to do some research with Audubon, and I was on an island of birds for like 2 weeks. So if you want to see me get attacked by terns, if you want to see me get attacked by terns for 12 days, and my vlog style video about that, stay tuned. And I'll direct you to where you can find those videos once they're out. So that's about it from me. Realistically, this is probably the last time you'll hear from me in video format this year. So I guess I will just close in saying it's been a pretty good year, actually, I think, even though I haven't really been able to do as much as I wanted to video-wise. I think, you know, the channel has grown pretty decently, and I feel like my videos are getting better, but you know, you can decide for yourselves. Yeah, I just really appreciate everyone watching and tuning in and asking about next projects and all these sorts of things. Yeah, it really means a lot. So here's wishing for a productive and fulfilling 2023 from me to you and from me to me. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Till then, you know, many thanks. Happy holidays. Please stay safe. Stay safe and healthy. And I'll see you next year.